Hello and welcome back to Ultimate Marble Racing Season 5. Yeah, it was quite a quick setup for that one. Um, Worries me when I do it quick because I always think I've probably forgotten something. But I think we're good. Yeah, got it done quite quickly, setting up for this last one. So, race number 9, competitive flat race. This was created by Burgerman42. And going into this race as they're still hanging onto that lead. But Fludes is not far behind. Balls of Steel had a great race on the last one, a 1-2 finish. We'll see if they can keep it up. Bit of a disaster for Blur, dropping some places on the standings with a DNF. So we'll see what happens in this one, whether Blur can fight back. Quite a few DNFs in the last one. See what happens with this one. So let's head over to the track. So here we are. Small track, quick track, very quick paced. So quite a few laps. Heading down to the start, but before we take a tour of the track, of course we'll be doing predictions, DNF predictions. How many do you think are going to DNF? 2 minutes to get those predictions in and gamble those channel points for those who are allowed to in their region. So some spinners off the get-go to try and slow people down, sweeping bends under the office desks and chairs. Quite a winding track, lots of sharp turns, a spinner on a hairpin going to a left-hand, quite a tight left-hand turn into a big sweeping right over a jump. And then we have another hairpin with a spinner in it to try and slow people down. Going left and into a sweeping right, then into a 90-degree right turn through a bunch of spinning triangle obstacles and into yet another hairpin. Quite a few hairpins on this track, if you hadn't noticed. And then we have the S-bends with the domes in them. Got to watch out for. You don't want to get stuck there. Can happen. Then 90-degree right-hand into start finish. So the prediction timer still counting down. Not too much to go through with this track. So I'm going to make sure I'm hydrated, ready for the race. And you know what, let's get everyone spawned in as well. Now, of course, for those that joined, probably didn't explain it too well in the last race. My brain just about couldn't commentate when I had to try and think about explaining how everything works. At the same time, as you may have noticed, my brain just seems to fall apart. But I didn't mention the grid is reverse order of every race. So the first race is sign-up order, the following races are reverse order based on the results of the previous race. So we have Cheese, Moo, Shady and Boyer on the front row, Stardust, Fluid, Superboss and Iceman on the back row. And for anyone who's watching this on YouTube, head over to the Discord. You can sign up there, join a team, or just watch and chat along with people, or if you're interested in any of the content I do. Also, head over to the Twitch to watch live. Our big next goal is 200 followers, so every follow is appreciated. But with all that out of the way, and the DNF prediction is now finished, let's get the race started. As it counts down. And they're off, a slow rolling start into the spinners. And picking up pace as they leave. It looks like Moo is going to be leading. Demon's going to make the overtake there. The two Eternal Darkness members, 1-2 right now. And the green slushies just behind her, those Shady falling back quite a bit right now. Losing a few positions. Trying to avoid the furniture there. Into the hairpin. Everyone piling up. And a big crash on the corner. Lots of positions getting swapped around. Snorker currently at the back, not going to be great for points. Up at the front, Demon off to a strong start. Alfonso in second, Eggbot third, Moo fourth. Wheat cutting in front of Azure on the hairpin. And Snorker managing to gain a couple of positions. A bit of a stall there. That's lost a lot of time for Shady getting pushed back. And Stardust struggling to get going in this race following a good previous race. Eggbot causing some trouble there. Bit of a pile up on the corner. All these winding bends, there's a lot of bumping going on. But all this chaos is allowing Demon to break away up at the front, just what they need after having quite a rough season so far. Already going to lap 2. Then we have Eggbot, Iceman, Peskybird, Wheat, closely followed by Moo, going into the spinners. She's battling it out with Azure. And then Flude's trailing behind, having some difficulties on lap 1. Stardust actually gaining quite a few positions after my mentioning of struggling, making a bit of a point there. But Demon with a great start is just trying to extend that lead and stay away from everyone else. Over the jump. See, everyone else still fairly close together. There's a big hit there by Wheat, meaning Moo and Cheese are going to come through and take that position away. Going into the hairpin. We can see Iceman, Stardust, Peskybird and Superboss battling it out for position. Pile up there. Moo's going to go up the inside of Weep. Word tries to do the same, trying to squeeze Weep out, doesn't quite make it around. But going to the triangles, this can really lose you time if you don't get the right route through. Good line for Stardust though, is actually closing the gap on Demon, getting past Eggbot, and is now right on the tail of Demon. In fact, squeezes Demon out. And that forces Demon to lose 2 positions. So interesting play there by Stardust, paying off massively, but has been costing Demon quite a bit, dropping another position to Iceman. That puts Demon down to 4th now. And Snorker just behind. Big hit on the spinners. It is close here. Snorker, Wheat, Peskybird and Cheese. Peskybird with the inside line is going to come out in front. Snorker managing to block Wheat just about. Everyone's still fairly grouped up. Still fighting it out. Up at the front, Stardust currently has a fastest lap in 3rd. Eggbot in 1st, Iceman in 2nd. Demon in 4th, trying to find a way back into that number 1 spot. It's going to be difficult. Oh, Peskybird with a bit of a bump there on the track. Alfonso with a big hit on the wall is going to lose a position to Cheese and Moo. I should say 2 positions. And up at the front we have quite the battle going on. Oh, a bit of a slowdown on the wall there for Iceman, bit of a wall hit. Be a chance for Demon, but with a rough entry into the triangles, it's slow, and that's really costly for Demon. A lot of time lost and quite a few positions. Dropping down to 8th. So a bit of a costly slowdown going into that section. And up at the front, Stardust just trying to find a way past Eggbot. Snorker gets past Iceman, going up into 3rd. Tried to make a comeback after the last race. See Moo dropping to 13th. And Balls of Steel members, Boer and Flude, struggling a little bit. I was going to say Balls of Steel, but Stardust is currently in second. But Boer and Flude's struggling a bit on this track, currently 15th and 16th. That is not going to help them out in the team standings at all. So coming out of the hairpin, get a bit of an aerial view here. Shady getting a bit caught up on the inside of the spinner there. Fludes is going to come past. Fludes going up to 13th. Shady just behind. Then up at the front we have a battle between 5 people: Stardust, Eggbot, Snorker, Cheese and Iceman. Yeah, Lasso Fludes doesn't have to be. Very gentlemanly. Losing with honour. Snorker going up into the lead on the hairpin. Good line through the triangles. Stardust in second, Eggbot in third. Oh, and Stardust is fighting back, not giving up quite so easily. Snorker taking the position back again. Quite the battle going on up at the front here as we go on to lap 5. Snorker saying they're too good. Careful not to jinx yourself. You know what happens. And Stardust is going to come past just as I say that. Knocks Snorker back down to second. Stardust still holding the fastest lap as well. Doing quite well after a rough start. Snorker with a better line through the hairpin will go back in front of Stardust, and a big collision on the wall. Could be a chance for Cheese. Cheese might just be waiting for the right time to make a pass here. Going over the jump. Eggbot's dropped down to 7th. See a big hit by Superboss there. Shady's going to sneak around the outside. And we're still trailing behind a bit. Going into the triangles once again. It's a good line by Snorker, not losing too much time. It's going to extend that lead and just try and get away from Stardust. But Pesky Bird is now up into third, right behind Stardust. Looking to try and take that second place. And Azur is just behind Cheese. But a great line there by Azur, just squeezing through, will make the pass. Slowing Cheese down a bit. Cheese drops a position to Iceman as well. And Iceman will be chasing Azur down. Going around the last corner, Iceman has a little bit more speed. And it's good through the spinner. More speed than Pesky Bird as well. Iceman goes up into third. Been checking with Snorker there in the distance. Still holding a healthy lead. Iceman now in pursuit of Stardust. Going around the hairpin, Jimmy trying to get in front of Pesky Bird. Doesn't make it stick though. Flude squeezing in front of Cheese. Flude has been just gradually gaining positions. Now up into 8th. Same cannot be said for Boer. Having difficulties on this track. And Demon, after a strong start, has dropped all the way to 14th. Back into their old ways. So into the triangle section, we can see Snorker again with a good line. Keeping it fast through there. Just extending that lead each lap. Iceman right on the tail of Stardust. Weep's going to be blocking Fluids out. And Azur's going to squeeze on the inside of Iceman. Iceman colliding with the sphere, the dome. I say the semi-sphere. Don't know if that's officially a shape, but it seems right in my head. Stardust is closing the gap on Snorker now. Still holding the fastest lap as well. Let's take that extra point. Iceman and Azur very close together. So Snorker definitely not home free yet. Still quite a few laps to go. And the gap seems to be shrinking. So heading over the jump. Snorker, Stardust, Azur, Iceman, Cheese, Jimmy, Eggbot, Wheat, Pesky Bird with a big hit on the wall is going to be a bit of a slowdown. Could be a chance for Fluids to close in. And up at the front, a big slowdown there for Snorker, getting hit by Azur. Stardust up into the lead. Breaking news. Breaking news. Boer is no longer last. Boer has managed to get past Alfonso and Demon and is now up into 14th. That'll be a few extra points. And they could be very important points. Oh, and the pile-up going on here. Quite the battle going on between the top four. Azur's going to come out of that on top, going on to lap 8. Stardust just behind, then Iceman. Snorker getting pushed back, getting slowed down quite a bit in that pile-up. Cheese and Jimmy not too far behind either. And so far this season, looking good for Azur. Making quite the strong racer so far. But a big cut up inside by Stardust and Snorker will push Azur down to 3rd. Iceman being chased down by Cheese and Jimmy. Good use of the spinner though to try and block them both. Make them lose a bit of time. But then not the best exit on that corner. And a big hit on that corner by both of the icebreakers there, Jimmy and Iceman, losing time. That allows Cheese to come past Iceman. Not a great turn, but will still stay hot on the heels of Cheese. Up at the front, Stardust trying to keep hold of this lead. Through the triangles, Snorker struggling a bit more through these triangles now. Not as clean as before. Stardust is going to hit the dome there, so as Iceman, Snorker's going to go the opposite way around. Could be a good tactic, just doesn't quite make it in front of Stardust. We'll have to tuck him behind. And Cheese making their way up to 4th there, just in front of Iceman. And then we have Jimmy being followed by Eggbot. So up at the front, Azur is breaking away a bit now, trying to create a bit of a gap back to Stardust. See what's happening further back as well here. Pesky Bird battling with Moo. Superboss just behind. There's a bit of a gap down to Shady, Demon, Word dropping to 15th, and Alfonso trailing behind quite a bit in 16th now. Up at the front, I think we saw a big hit there by Stardust on the corner. Means Snorker is now just behind. And still not last, yes. Still not last. Hanging in there in 15th. See if she can hang in there to the end. There is quite a bit of a gap now back to Alfonso. Seems to be struggling a bit. But we do have a few more laps to go. So up at the front, we have 5 people battling it out. As Stardust, Cheese, Snorker, and Eggbot. Stardust, still holding the fastest lap, goes up into first. Cheese with a good bit of speed there, but isn't going to find a way past Azur. Azur closing the gap on Stardust. Yeah, that hop on the spinners was a risky play, but it can be quite an effective one. And Cheese up into second. Azur getting pushed back by Snork, and a big hit on the wall is going to cost Azur even more. It's going to block Jimmy, but does get passed by Eggbot. That's going to put Azur down to 5th. Up at the front though, big collision. I feel like I've said up at the front so many times this race. Finally have that extra second here again. Well, now you get to hear my amazing commentating skills yet again. So Stardust leading. You can hear me say up at the front another 20 times. Stardust making a breakaway now. Late into the race, a bit of a disaster for Snorker going around there. Azur, Eggbot and Jimmy managing to make it past. Cheese also dropping a few positions, dropping to 6th. Demon taking the fastest lap down in 13th. Worse, still not in last. In 15th. Well, let's go and see what's going on further back. You see Fluids trying to gain on Cheese and Iceman, who are battling it out. Then we have Wheat, Shady, Moo, Pesky, Superboss and Demon quite close together. A bit of a battle going on there. Then there's quite a gap down to Boer. And then a gap down to Alfonso. And up at the front, we see a big hit on the wall by Stardust, meaning Eggbot is going to come through and take first. Going into the hairpin. They're going a little bit wide there. Snork with an outside line. Iceman going around the outside of Cheese. So Cheese dropping to 7th. See how the lines look through the triangles. Eggbot and Stardust through, both with fairly decent lines. Again, Snorker not as good as towards the start of the race through the area. Definitely had better lines earlier on. As we're heading onto lap 12. Some contact between Cheese and Jimmy. Cheese trying to reclaim some positions. But Jimmy is going to hold 4th. And through the spinners. Weep is now just behind Iceman. Demon, a little bit more speed than Superboss, but is going to be on the outside. But inside for the next corner, so great line there. Demon does make it past Superboss. To go behind their teammate Moo. And still holding the fastest lap, Demon, as well, for that extra point. Trying very hard not to say, but up at the front. But up at the front, Stardust and Eggbot battling it out for first place. Coming into the triangles again. Stardust has some good speed going into it. It's a good line. It's a great line. Good exit speed. But Stardust is going to break away. Leaving Eggbot in the dust. Azure trying to close the gap on Eggbot. The teammates of Jimmy and Iceman, 4th and 5th. Cheese and Snorker lurking just behind though. And a big hit by Jimmy. That's the mistake needed for Cheese to go past and for Snorker to go past. Jimmy's going to drop 2 positions there. It looks like Blur's trying to close in on Pesky, but it might be a chance for another position gain before the end. A few laps left to go. There is enough time. We'll have to see how that plays out. Cheese trying to close this gap on Azure. Iceman not far behind. Into the hairpin. They're followed by Snorker and Jimmy. Eggbot, Azure and Cheese very close together. Not seeing any big hits on the wall currently. Fairly clean going around there. Stardust with a good line through the triangles. We're going to see what happens here. Worm, Pesky Bird, no hard hits on the wall. No chance for Word to make the pass yet. Pesky Bird will hold on. Shady had a decent line there, a bit of a hold up on that last part. Crash on the dome there between Weep and Flude's going to slow them both down. Jimmy slowing down there, picking up Snorker as well. That's just going to allow teammate Iceman to open up that gap and break away a bit. Maybe a bit of a tactical blocking for the team. And Cheese is up into second in front of Eggbot. Good exit line on the corner. Going towards the hairpin. Eggbot cuts on the inside, just cutting off Cheese. Will reclaim that second place. Close behind them is Azure and Iceman. There's a bit of a gap back to Weep, Snorker, and then Jimmy. Jimmy dropping a couple of positions. And then Fludes. So into the triangles once again. It's a good line by Stardust. Really good line by Azure. Getting past Cheese and we'll be right behind Eggbot. Jimmy with a really good line there is going to come out in front of Snorker into the hairpin. And a pinch by Snorker gives Jimmy a boost and puts Fludes right on the tail of Snorker. Weep colliding with the dome. Jimmy's going to make a pass. Jimmy just going through, claiming back these positions one by one here. And Fludes with a bit of a hold up. Snorker not quite able to get past Weep. And Demon still holding the fastest lap, and Were still not last. So final lap of the race. Stardust is leading. Cheese in second. Eggbot in 3rd, Azure in 4th, Iceman in 5th. See how this plays out. As everyone's still fairly close together, and Boer has passed Pesky Bird in the distance. Meaning Boer has gained another position, going up to 14th now. Oh, that's slow by Eggbot into the hairpin, getting caught up on that spinner. Azure and Cheese are going to come past. Azure with a little collision on the wall, though, is going to slow them down, catching Cheese as well. Eggbot can't quite squeeze back past. What's going to happen through the triangles, though? Stardust already exiting them. It's going to be close here, down to the end. And Azure's going to come out in 2nd, Cheese in 3rd, Iceman 4th, Eggbot 5th. Bit rough through there. Cheese going to make a lunge in front of Azure, and it works very well. Azure hitting the dome. Iceman's going to go around the outside, take that position. Is Azure fumbling at the very end here? Currently leading in the standings, just wanting to pick up more points to extend it, but Stardust is going to take the win. Cheese coming across in 2nd, Iceman 3rd, Azure 4th, Eggbot 5th, very close up at the front. Jimmy in 6th, Snorker 7th, Weep coming across in 8th, Superboss in 9th, Flues in 10th. Then we have Shady, Moo, and then Demon. Demon holding the fastest lap. And Pesky Bird seems to be having some issues on this last lap. As Boer's going to take 14th, Pesky Bird will take 15th. And Alfonso, not a great race for Alfonso, is going to have to take 16th. Gonna speed things up a bit here. Head over to our winning marble cam. Don't need to wait for the DNF timer because we had no DNFs. Everyone finished. And that is 0 DNFs. So congratulations to Stardust. It has been, I'd say, a good day for the Bulls of Steel. It's been a bit up and down, depending on who you're looking at in each race. But overall, we've seen some good finishes for them. It could look good in the team standings. Stardust doing really well this stream. But yeah, big congratulations to Stardust on the win. That is big for Stardust, and that is 2 wins in a row as well. Just got to mention that 2 wins in a row for Stardust, so absolutely huge. And I think it's our first person to have 2 wins this season so far. So yeah, big plays by Stardust today. Absolutely on form. But I'm going to go and put these results on the leaderboard. I'll be back in just a minute with the standings. Alright, the results have been entered, so let's head over to the standings. I did spot your message, Snorker. Has been a day of choking potential podiums for me. Yeah, it has been a rough one. One of those days. Not performing the worst though. Still managing to at least hold some decent positions, but yeah, definitely have been in with a chance of some podiums that have been lost. But could be worse. And yeah, not a great day for you, Boer. Dropping from top 4, I think it was, at the start of this stream, down to now an 8th. It's been a rough one. So currently Azure still holding that number 1 spot. Been racing really well, just hanging on. 223 points. Fludes in 2nd with 193, Superboss in 3rd with 183, Moo in 4th with 182, Stardust in 5th with 180. Big position gains by Stardust today. Iceman in 6th with 176, Snorker in 7th with 174, Boer in 8th with 161, Eggbot in 9th with 146, and Cheese in 10th. tied with Pesky Bird at 140. Then we have Shady, Weep, Jimmy, Alfonso, and Demon. Now in the team standings, Balls of Steel doing quite well, 178 points at the top. Tutti Frutti in second with 165. Snowball is in third with 162. Green Slushies in fourth with 160. The Grandmasters in fifth. Tied with Icebreakers with 153. Then we have Doge Balls and Ultraviolets tied, and Eternal Darkness and Marble Minions tied. How do the team standings work? So it's a calculation that I have to give credit to Boer and Fludes for sorting out for me. They worked it out in the last season, and I asked if I could take it for this season. And it runs a system. Best way to explain it is as though it takes the maximum number of races on a team, for example 3, mainly Fludes. So we have 3 at the moment. And for anyone that has less than 3 members, it adds a ghost member into the team, which the ghost will always score an average of how many points can be scored, if that makes sense. So the ghost will always finish basically dead middle of the field. So if you're in a team of 1, you'll have 2 ghosts that are always performing average of the table every race, and it's calculated off that. So it does also help promote getting team members, as long as they do well. Of course, if you have team members that then just do absolutely awful, then your ghost may be better. But that is how the team standings are calculated. Yeah, good day of races. Some good races, some good finishes. And again, Snorker, you are just a reminder, I don't know if you're here at the very start, you are a sub on Twitch, and that has now opened up access to new areas in the Discord. So there's now subscriber zones in Discord, including an area to choose your trail, as we now have trails available. So trails normally going forward will be chosen ahead of the seasons when people are doing their picking teams, changing teams, all of that stuff. You can also choose the trail that you want. And that area can only be seen by people that are subbed. I have linked the Discord and Twitch, which really helps with that. Helps the manual work of me having to look at who's constantly subscribed. Yeah, you'll be able to choose your trail. I still keep wanting to say trail for your marble, and you can choose it now. And once you pick one, it'll be locked in for the rest of the season. So feel free to go and do that on the Discord. And of course, anyone else that's watching that isn't part of the Discord, head down to the description if you're watching on YouTube, and it'll be down there. And you can join, sign up, join a team, all that fun stuff and more. But that is going to do it for this one. 3 races. I'm glad I didn't say I was going to do 4, because I tell you what, my throat is going already. I didn't realise how much of a struggle it was going to be commentating for 3 races straight. Definitely not used to it. But I'll probably do it again a couple more times to try and catch up on some of the races. So got that to look forward to. And the hydrate getting redeemed. I've actually been having to hydrate so much during this, so there's probably loads of blank pauses. Just so I can hydrate. And yeah. And my brain just melting. Zoning out on my thought processes, all collapsing. So yeah, that is it for this one. We'll be back next stream, Rooftop Racetrack. Don't have to do 3. I know I don't have to, but I don't feel bad missing a whole week of streams. So I feel I kind of have to sort of give back a few. Either that, or if I find time, I might do an extra day. Might do that. That might be a little bit easier on the voice. Can't lose my voice. That'd be even worse. wouldn't be able to do any. Yeah, you gotta be kind to your body. You gotta treat it well. Yeah, that is gonna do it for this one. So I hope you all have a good day, a good night, a good morning, a good whatever it is, wherever you are. And we got a new follower, which was great, Frosty Lizard. So I appreciate that as well. On our way to 160, maybe 200, next big goal. Don't know how long that'll take. We've gone a little bit slow on the follower count at the moment. So, get sharing with people. Try and get more people involved. Expand our community a bit into the world of the marble racing and other random stuff. But yeah, that'll do it for this one. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.